Here's an interesting story. As a person with disability in Kenya importing a car from the outside market, you are exempted from paying all the applicable taxes when clearing your car at the customs. Here's my thought. What if I have a close buddy who is blind? Unfortunately, he or she has money and has all the documents. They go through the whole process and acquire a car duty-free. Behind the scenes, tunaelewana tu. I just pay back the money plus maybe a little interest on what he used, and then I acquire the car. I don't have to transfer the logbook at that moment because I'm driving the car, not the logbook. What's the worst that can happen?
But I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
Now that's a bright idea.
To successfully import a car duty-free to the Kenyan market as a person with disability, this is everything you need to know. A close friend of mine, who's just normal by the way, approached me some time back asking if I could assist him import a car and attach tax exemption documents as a person living with disability so he could acquire this car at the lowest price possible. Check this out.
You know, I remember when I was a chairman, National Council for Persons with Disability, one guy came to my office, pretended to be deaf completely. And he was actually signing. He was talking in sign language. So he wanted to import a vehicle duty-free, which was of 5 million. Yes. So he will have only paid around 2.8 million. So he saw it attractive. So he pretended, and we had filled all the forms. But accidentally, he asked me that he will use my toilet, which was inside the office. I told him, okay, washroom, you can use them. So I realized, because some people normally pretend, this guy have said deaf, so let me test. So I screamed. Ui, nyoka, nyoka. Alifalia suruali kwa gate. So you can imagine how did he hear, and he was deaf.
Hey, what's up? Chris Pakaz over here. Glad to see you here again. In my previous video about used car importation regulations in Kenya, I highlighted a category of people who are exempted from paying duty when importing cars, and that is the returning residents. Kenyans who have stayed in countries with left-hand drive vehicles return home and wish to import right-hand drive vehicles. I have a link attached. You can check it out at the end of this video.
Please, whatever. Please, I want to reach 1 million.
If you are living in Kenya as a person with disability and wish to import a car from abroad, you can either decide to pay the full taxes like any other person, or you can apply for tax exemptions under the East African Community Customs Management Act. Normally, when importing a car to Kenya, the cost and freight charges is not all you need to part with. You'll meet some good friends at the port of Mombasa who will want to have some small talk with you.
What? Guy in a suit? No! It's a tax collector! Hide us, SpongeBob!
Tax rates may change over time, so I'll just highlight the tax type and what it means. Link to KRA website showing applicable tax rates at the time of this video is provided in the description below. You can check it at your free time. The first tax you'll have to pay is import duty, which in relation to cars is simply tax levied depending on the value of the car. The newer the car, the more tax you're going to pay. The more muscled and luxurious the car looks, the more money you are going to pay as tax. Next type of tax is excess duty, which in simple terms was introduced to discourage what was considered harmful to humans or environment. In other fields, we have examples of alcohol or tobacco. So excess duty was meant to discourage production or importation of the same. Then we have the famous VAT, value added tax. Just like the name suggests, this is simply tax levied due to value added at every stage of production in different countries. And these countries have different rates depending on their economy. Let's take an example of Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. The production starts with Mercedes sourcing raw materials from suppliers like certified mines, steel companies, lithium companies, etc. They will buy the materials and pay VAT applicable in that particular country. Once production is done, aftermarket companies like Brabus and others can buy the Mercedes with VAT and pimp it up a little, adding more value to it. Whatever you buy at the showroom is a finished product that has gone through a chain of processes with VAT collected at every stage. Another tax applicable is registration fee, and that's what you'll need to pay for the car to be registered with NTSA. Import declaration fee, or IDF, shows that you have declared the true and accurate value of goods before they leave the country of origin. We also have the Kenya Railway Development Levy tax, which is to fund the construction and operations of the standard gauge railway. Sale of number plates is yet another fee you will need to part with, and this also depends with the type of number plate you want. Now, I have a full video of all the different types of Kenyan number plates and their meaning and how you can acquire them. Link is available in the description below. You can check it out at your will. Another tax is the transfer fee for motor vehicle registration from the country of origin to you as the new buyer. Merchant Shipping Superintendent, also known as Oversight and Monitoring Levy, is meant to fund the Kenya Maritime Authority. The Kenya Maritime Authority is responsible for regulating and overseeing maritime affairs in Kenya. That's another tax you're going to pay. In the list is Road Safety Fund, which is meant to reduce road traffic accidents and injuries and also promote safe driving. The last tax is second-hand motor vehicle purchase, and yes, I think that's just very clear. It's meant to discourage importation of second-hand vehicles because
you cannot be for real.
Here's an interesting story. As a person with disability in Kenya importing a car from the outside market, you are exempted from paying all the applicable taxes when clearing your car at the customs. I know someone might be having wild thoughts out there thinking, why can't I just find a friend with disability, import a vehicle through his or her name to avoid certain duty charges, then transfer ownership to myself once the process is done?
Now that's a bright idea.
To successfully import a car duty-free to the Kenyan market as a person with disability, this is everything you need to know. Number 1, write application letter addressed to the Commissioner of Customs and Border Controls requesting an exemption. Number 2, medical certificate from any government hospital. Attach a certified copy certified by Commissioner of Oaths to your application. Number 3, you'll have to secure an original letter of recommendation from the Association for the Physically Disabled of Kenya or National Councils of Persons with Disability. Number 4, you'll have to get a Class F driving license, and that you can acquire from either AA or Unique. Currently, they're offering driving classes for persons with disability.
But I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
If you have visual, mental, or hearing impairment, you may nominate a driver. Attach a nomination letter with the driver's valid driving license and a copy of ID. Ensure the driver swears an affidavit to confirm the nomination. You will provide bill of lading for the vehicle addressing you as the applicant. Include invoice or pro forma invoice addressed to you. Provide tax certificates for tax compliance and tax exemptions. Attach proof of payment indicating it was done by you. Provide a copy of your national ID. Include a copy of your National Council of Persons with Disability ID. Now, what happens once the process is done, you've acquired your car and wish to transfer the ownership to another person? For you to transfer that car to a different person, you'll have to have used the car for a period of not less than 4 years. And before the transfer is done, the person will have to pay the import duty and all the other charges that were not paid during the customs clearance. Here's my thought. What if I have a close buddy who is blind? Unfortunately, he or she has money and has all the documents. They go through the whole process and acquire a car duty-free. Behind the scenes, tunaelewana tu. I just pay back the money plus maybe a little interest on what he used, and then I acquire the car. I don't have to transfer the logbook at that moment because I'm driving the car, not the logbook. What's the worst that can happen? I'm Frispa, all about cars. See you in the next one.